All right, so today is going to be more of a hands-on. We are going to use more of the, like we're going to learn some new features, but we're also going to learn some object-oriented, how to use the object-oriented principles to create a game. So let's say, so this is the example game here. So save the diamonds. All right, 1 minute. So we have multiple diamonds moving around. Like this, and we try to save them from this thing, from taking them. Okay, the spaceship. Okay, now before we get into the game, if you go to this week's content page, you can see a couple of like a few helpful links that you might find helpful when you create your game. So this is an icon archive, and it has a like free to use, and we're not so worried about the commercial use because we are using it for educational reasons. But if you're gonna use this icon for commercial use, you just make sure it is allowed. So for me, for example, I got this diamond from here as well. So I just search for diamond, and I choose this one, and then you can have multiple options. Okay. So I guess I took one of these. Don't remember which size exactly, but when you download it, you can have it. Okay. And I also found the spaceship here. All right, so this is the one I used. Okay, but you can see there are so many other options. Okay, you can also have this mixer that gives you sound effects if you want. So like jump. All right, so you can use these. You can download them. You can download the WAV file, and you can load it to your game and use it. And you can also, it's not just downloads, you can choose one, for example, this, and then update it somehow. All right. All right. Now, this is the font space, so you can have some fonts. I downloaded one font from here as well for today's game. Where is it? Okay, so I think I got this one of these. I think coffee healing. Yeah, I download. So you download this, so you get a TTF file, and that is the font file that you can upload to your game and use. Okay, and here you can have some nice background images. Some of them are so like if you're interested to get them in more advanced in the game development, there are some tile mapping concepts, so you can. Some of them come with tiles, but I think I got one from here as well. Yes, one of the images here. Yeah, I think this is the one I got. But I changed the size to make it smaller. Okay. All right. And then there is a color picker if you want to get because we've seen how we send the color, specify the color in tuple 3 with RGB, right? If you want to get the RGB of a certain color, you can just select it here. If you have an image and you want to get some color that matches it, you can go there. So that's like you want something that match this desert, for example. So you get the RGB of it here. And then it gives you the palette of the image as well. All right. And one more thing, this is the where to contribute, because it's an open source. You can contribute it, so there is a room for like if you wanna build your portfolio by contributing some open source, you can do that here. So I do encourage you to do that. It's good for your portfolio. All right. Now let's see. I am going to switch to the other folder. All right, so here I have the font, the coffee healing font, and I had the diamond, the spaceship, and the background. Okay, I didn't use any sounds. You know where to find. So I'm just gonna create a new file here. This is the main file for the game. So I'm gonna call it saved diamond.py, and I will import PyGame. What? All right. So we would want to have dot init to initialize PyGame dot width at the end. Now in between we have everything that we need. Okay, so I wanted the screen to be the exact size of the image without me having to calculate the size of the image. So what I did is just I loaded the image first, and then I sent the width and height of the image as I create the main screen. Okay, so can you guide me through how can I load the image? How can I load an image? Any image, just like you loaded the icon, the small icon for the lab. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That load. Yeah. So here we have the background is the name of the file. All right, and then we want to receive that in a reference so that we can use it later. So I'm gonna call this background underscore image. All right, and then we need to get access to its rectangle because we need, yes. Oh, the extension as well, yeah, sorry. So background.jpg. Yeah, the full name of the font. Okay. Now we need to have access to the rectangle because we need the width and height to set the screen. Okay, so I can say pg underscore rect equal. So what's the name of the function? Get underscore rect. All right. Now I want to create the screen, the main screen. So how do I create the main screen? Can someone tell me? I have more chocolate. So how can I create the screen? Yeah. Yes. So this mode is the function after the display that we need to call. So pygame dot the display dot set underscore mode, and it takes what? It takes a tuple, right? It takes a tuple that has the width and the height, and we agreed that we want the width and the height of the background rectangle. Oh, the background image, yes. Right? The dimensions, yes. Yeah, if we want it to be 1,000 by 1,000, we can do that. But we wanted to have the screen the same size of the background image. So how can we do that without having to calculate it here?
You can follow like the background file is
Yeah. So we already have access to the rect, right? So we already have access to the rectangle of the background image. So we can use that to get the width and the height. All right. Okay. All right. Now let's have the game loop so that we can test what we are doing as we are going. Okay, so I'm just gonna create the infinite loop based on the running flag. So initially it is true, and then so this would be the game loop while running. I'm gonna say pass for now. I just want to check whether the background image will be loaded or not. So not. Well, what's wrong? It wasn't loaded. Yes. Right? Yes, I have to copy the image to the screen. That's one step, and then there's another step as well. So I missed two steps. One, to copy the image from the screen, and the other is flip or update. Okay, there's the flip method that the screen. The update is more specific. Just checks whatever has changed, and then update. So either flip or update. These are the two steps. Okay, so we need to blit. So let's have the screen rectangle as well, just in case. Equals screen dot get rect. All right, and we want to blit this image on the screen. So we say screen dot blit, and then it takes the image or the surface, any surface. So it could be an image, it could be a drawing, it could be a font. And it takes the coordinates, and we can also send the rectangle because the rectangle has the coordinates. And then we flip, so PyGame dot display dot flip. Now let's see. There you go. So we have the background image. Okay. Now let's have the quit event so that we can close the screen. So there is the event loop here. So for event and PyGame dot event dot get if event type equals PyGame dot quit and running equal false. All right. So inside the game loop, we have the event loop, and then we have what? We have the game logic here. This is how the game is gonna change. And then eventually we want to redraw the screen so that the changes we made will be reflected, right? So what we really do here in the game logic is just we change the state of the objects on the screen. And then at this step, this state will be reflected on the screen by redrawing.